People want to know a lot of times whether their employer will know that they have filed bankruptcy, because most people are embarrassed about it. Most people are good folks, and they don't want anybody to know they filed bankruptcy. They don't want they don't want to come in here and talk to me. But basically, the bankruptcy code specifically says that it's illegal to discriminate against somebody if they have filed bankruptcy. So that's important to know, because your employer couldn't do anything to you legally if they did find out you filed bankruptcy. But basically, your employer doesn't have to know if you file Chapter 7 bankruptcy, because basically your whole goal is to get rid of your debts. A notice goes to your creditors from the bankruptcy court. That notice does not go to your employer. If you tell your employer, then they'll know. If you owe your employer money, then you've got to list your employer on your bankruptcy, because you have to list all your creditors, even if you intend to pay them. So your employer would know if you owed your employer, and that includes 401k loans. You have to list the 401k plan, or whoever lent you the money legally. They would have to be notified. But and it is public record. If somebody wants to go to the courthouse and bother to keep up with your business and wants to tell your employer will find out. But there's no rule that says the employer has to find out, and I think probably most of my clients' employers do not know unless they owe them money in a Chapter 7. The difference is when you file a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, that is a repayment plan, where you are repaying your debts through the bankruptcy court. What you're doing is you're paying a trustee every month. And basically, the bankruptcy trustees in this district require the payment to come out of your paycheck. And so your employer's human resource department will receive a court order telling them to take X amount of dollars per week or twice a month or month out of your paycheck. So most Chapter 13 clients, employers do know that they have filed bankruptcy. Unless the employer has less than about 5 employees, then they don't take it out of your check. But can you lose your job for filing bankruptcy? No, that would be illegal. Now, if an employer wants to fire you for that and then come up with some other reason, or just not say anything, and you haven't had a perfect work history or something so that you could make a case that they fired you because of the bankruptcy, I would assume common sense says they can. I've been doing this stuff for 26 years. I don't know how many clients I've represented, 4,000 or 5,000 or so. And that, a lot of those are cases with 2 people. So that's a ton of clients. I've had 2 people in 26 years lose their jobs, and one of them was because he filed bankruptcy. His second part-time job employer just didn't like it, and he fired him. My client didn't care because he hated the guy anyway, didn't do anything about it. The other one, the employer was giving him a hard time because they worked at a bank, and they were going to pay back the loan to the bank, but they were just getting hassled, they felt, so they quit. Now, on the other hand, I've represented a lot of bankers in bankruptcy, and I had one banker who was in management. She asked her employer or manager, she said, I'm thinking about filing bankruptcy, I've really got to. And is this going to impact my career? And the supervisor just started laughing and said, if we got rid of all the people in this bank who'd filed bankruptcy, we wouldn't have anybody left. And I know that she filed, it went successfully, ended up moving to another city, getting a better job afterwards, and it didn't impact her. So I've represented people in law enforcement, insurance, lawyers, contractors, just all kinds of people, and no one except those 2 previously mentioned people told me it impacted them at all.